is happening, everybody? Welcome in again to the Voice of Camp Nathaniel, coming at you right here on the campus of Camp Nathaniel like we do every single time. Stephen Bell with me as always. Man, I got a good one.
I'm waiting on this.
I got a good one.
Okay.
I got a good one. Our friends over at ChatGPT hooked me up today. With me as always is the Flume Diddley.
If you tried to use that word in Scrabble,
Yeah, that'd be a lot of points, wouldn't it?
there would be questions on the legitimacy of your word. This is Lee Sharp.
That's Lee Sharp, the Flume Diddley Lee Sharp.
Does the AI robot have a definition for Flume Diddley?
It does. Over the top fancy in a way that screams, I've got glitter in my cereal. I love AI definitions. It's fantastic.
Glitter in my cereal?
Over the top fancy in a way that screams, I've got glitter in my cereal. Flume Diddley you are, Lee Sharp.
Flume Diddley.
Wow. Hey, we are right in the middle. Let's rescue that real quick. We are right in the middle of our Family Camp 2025, and we've got this episode and next episode that we're going to be focused on some guests that we got coming in, bringing their ministries here to Camp Nathaniel to take part in our annual Family Camp. Man, we got a lot of people on campus right now.
A lot of families. A
Yes,
lot of
indeed.
kids running around.
Lots of kids running around, man. Always good to see. You know what? I just walked over the brand new swinging bridge. It opened up this past Monday, right in time for Family Camp. Hadn't been on it yet. And for those of you who, I always say the swinging bridge to Camp Nathaniel is like the Mohawk to Mr. T. You just, if it's gone, it's not the same anymore. So if it's been a while since you've been on the swinging bridge, which it has been for everybody because it was back in 2022 when that thing went down in the midst of the flood, man, come and check it out. And I think it swings more. I'm just saying. I know.
My theory is that it's always been that bouncy and what you're just not remembering it right.
Maybe. I think we upped the game on it. To be perfectly honest. Well, Lee, hey, we got us a guest in the studio, one of the speakers this week at Camp Nathaniel for our family camp. So how about you let us know who we got in the studio with us?
We have Scott in here with us today.
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
And I'm trying to remember the last name.
No, I remember the last
name. It's a unique last name.
I remember the last name because he gave us the intro for it. His last name is Klooster because it rhymes with toaster. See? Flume Diddley.
Yeah, I do love glitter in my cereal. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Scott, please rescue our introduction
Come
here.
on, man. They're great. People love it.
We need help at this point.
Hey, Scott, man, thanks so much for joining us for the Voice of Camp Nathaniel this time around. How do you like? Is this your first time at Camp Nathaniel?
Yeah, great story. So I was actually here 20 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Part of a youth group that came from our church that we did some work around here, and so I really haven't been back in about 20 years. So it's kind of like my first time here.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Well, man, that's cool, man. We get to reminisce a little bit on camp, but Lee's going to kind of take us through our show today to find out a little bit more about you and what God's doing in the ministry He has you here with. All right.
Awesome.
So the quick context here, during Family Camp, we have a couple of people that come in and speak during our sessions. We've got one speaker who comes in, he speaks at all the different sessions, but then we also have someone come in and speak as the missionary speaker. And missionary speakers come from all over. And Scott, you were filling that role this week.
Yeah.
And you mentioned your church, so what's the church?
Yep. So I'm from Georgetown Bible Church. It's in a place called Hudsonville, Michigan, which is like halfway between Grand Rapids and Lake Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Georgetown Bible Church has a rich history with connections with Camp Nathaniel.
Oh yeah,
there's groups. They bring a group down like pretty much every year. A group of students I know comes down every year.
Yep. I don't think we've missed but 1 week in the last 20-some years.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Good deal. Because that's right before. That's during spring break, so they come down. They start getting stuff ready around Camp Nathaniel so that it, looks good and operates well during the summer months.
During summer months.
Yeah. Good.
Yep. So, Scott, going to get a little bit of your story.
Sure.
So you're up with, it's Georgetown
Bible Church.
Georgetown Bible Church. So I guess catch us up a little bit. Where did some of this get started, or the story of where you came into it?
All right. Well, I appreciate that. So I've actually been attending the church for about 35, 36 years. And before I came on board as staff there, I was a missionary.
Gotcha.
And I was also supported by that church. And so I've had a deep relationship with them. And then we have always had a connection with Camp Nathaniel, the church has. And so it just made sense that we would come down here. Both Brian, who's the main speaker this week, he's our senior pastor, and then I'm the multiplication pastor, which doesn't mean that like I oversee all the new births at the church or anything like that. That means like I try to guide the
pastor
missions.
of arithmetic.
Yeah, right. Right. No, I have the pleasure of overseeing our international work and our local outreach work as well, and so it's just been a blessing to come down here. Just a natural fit.
Can I butt in with a question real quick?
Go for it.
Are you able to say where you were a missionary? Because some people can, some people can't.
No, I appreciate that question. Actually, we were kind of in a unique situation. We were states-based, but our mission was to lead evangelism teams into different countries, into closed countries.
Oh, wow, okay.
And we would target countries that had 2% or less evangelical presence in that country, or it was against the law of the land to proselytize or evangelize. And so we did a lot of work in closed countries in the Middle East, a lot of Asian countries as well.
And you did that for how long?
Probably about 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal,
sure.
man. That's awesome. That's exciting.
Just a little bit of experience there.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So with the position you're in now, leading different groups out and whatnot, what does that look like with?
Yeah.
And you can give us you can get as detailed or as big of a preview, however there.
No. I'll be glad to try to answer that. So we as a church have a posture of we really want to use the resources that we have in order to get the gospel clearly spoken to people who may not have ever heard the name of Jesus. They may not have a Bible in their heart language. And so the missions trips that we do are evangelism based. We don't do a lot of brick and mortar, but we do bring teams, small teams, depending on where we're going. And we try to do that at least once and trying to get into a rhythm. Now, COVID kind of messed up the whole rhythm like it did with everybody, but we're trying to get into a rhythm where we take 2 adult teams per year. Then we have a youth team that does the same thing within the continental U.S. Like they'll go to Oklahoma. But for like this year, the remainder of this year, we have a team that is going I won't say the exact location, but it's in the Caribbean to a communist country in order to share the gospel. And so we'll take 10, 12 people and we'll train them on everything they need to know, from packing to how to share their faith and culture shock and all those type of things. And we'll spend a week to 10 days in these countries and then come on back.
Very cool.
That's awesome. A week to 10 days.
Yeah, it depends sometimes where we go, because if we go geographically a great distance away, like to Asia or someplace, we'll probably stay a couple of weeks just to like catch our breath at the beginning and at the end.
You got travel time on each end of that.
For sure. But if we do someplace close across saltwater, it'll be a week to 10 days.
Okay, cool. So how many let's see, how many trips have you organized in your time?
That's a really good question. I don't have a real good count. It's probably somewhere between 70 or 80.
Oh, that's great.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Good deal, man. All right, Lee, where are we going next?
Very cool. So you were invited to come down this week. And the connection with camp is one that's been there for a good while. I was going to ask if there was any specific is there any story behind that, or is it just a
yeah,
or by the time you got there, they had been coming for years, or I don't know what the
No. So it's actually generational now, because the original way that Georgetown got related with Camp Nathaniel is Jeff McIntyre's uncle was a good friend of ours, went to our church for a number of years.
Okay.
And then his son was our youth pastor, and he organized that first OG trip here a long time ago, and we've been kind of doing that ever since. Now we've got some generational relationship here. because Haley Block is one of our homegrown kids, and we just want to support her and Nate and the family. And so we do support a couple of folks that are missionaries here on your camp. And one of our postures as a church is we love to get to our global partners if it's a good fit, like, and just show them we're not just sending them money, we're sending them people and trying to help out in every way we can. So we got the invite. Haley sent it to myself and to Brian, and we were like, "Yep, no brainer, we're gonna come." Very cool,
awesome. So the question now is, content wise, let's talk about what are you sharing with the crew at Family Camp this week?
Yeah, it's been really exciting because they were like, just do whatever your heart tells you. I'm like, well, that's dangerous. All right. Well, let me think about that. But no, what I wanted to do is I wanted to focus on 2 major world religions just to give people an idea of some of the worldview of folks that are all around them. And so we talked about Islam and we talked about Hinduism. And you may think that's like a faraway thing, but actually there's a lot of Muslim people and a lot of Hindu people right here in Kentucky. And then for the last session, what we did was I wanted to encourage everybody that they indeed are a missionary. If they love Jesus and they follow Jesus, then they need to understand how to share their faith. And so what I did was a training on just how to start a spiritual conversation, like how to take any conversation with anybody that you meet and then kind of tip it towards Jesus and just be able to share your story and to be able to share God's story with people.
So how does that work then?
Yeah. No. It's really great. This morning we trained folks on how to have a 15-second testimony that can redirect a conversation. So let's, for example, say you're buying cereal at the store with glitter in it.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Man, he's on it. He's on it.
He's caught on quick.
That's right.
And, I'm just coming up. I'm like, hey, random question. Hi, my name's Scott. And I say, how you doing, Lee? And you're like, well, in all honesty, I'm pretty tired out. I work a lot. And I would say something like this: in 15 seconds, I can change this conversation. It would be like, yeah, Lee, there's a time in my life when I was tired and even searching myself, but then I met Jesus and I decided to follow him. Since that time, I've known a lot more peace and contentment. You got a story like that. And in 15 seconds, I've pivoted that conversation into a spiritual place. And so that's the beginning about how you share your faith.
Do you feel that people are more open to discussing their belief than not? I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no, great question, because I think a lot of time we put up fear barriers where they're not there.
Well, and we like to assume that, well, you don't get in people's business like that, but in reality it's like, people probably more apt to tell you what they think than not.
Oh, people are just like you and me. They're surrounded in brokenness too. And it's our duty not to try to figure it all out, but just to be a voice of encouragement to them. I tell people in our seminars, like, ministry and sharing the gospel is 95% showing up. Like, just be there. Just say a word and see what God does with it. But I don't want to exclude that person just because of my own fears or what I anticipate they might say or not say. And, and be honest, most people, we've gotten bad responses like, no, just go away. But most time it's like, oh, thanks. I'm glad you're here. Yeah.
And you were breaking that down a little bit this morning because the 15 seconds that you had there, there's a bit of a structure to it. Yep. It's not meant to be an exact formula like you were talking about this morning. It's supposed to be more organic. It needs to feel more like because it is a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's not necessarily like, I got to memorize this formula, but I didn't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about like what that kind of, if you're going up to somebody and you've got the hope and the love of Jesus in you and you're wanting to share that, it's like, okay, but I heard what he said, but how did he do that? Like, what did he break down there?
No, for sure, because we tend to be robotic and mechanical. Like, if I don't remember what John 3:16 is, then this person is, going to suffer in eternity. And that's really not the way it is. It's like just conversational, be natural. So that 15 seconds is broken up like to my life before Christ, how I met Christ, and then when it's like after Christ. So this is what I used to be, and then I met him. Grandma told me about him. I went to church and heard about him, and I made a decision. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to be loyal to him, and now my life is something else. You know, people say, well, I really don't have a deep, traumatic testimony, and that's okay, because we're all human, and there are times when we go through things. So it's, in a case like that, it's like, yeah, you know, there are times in my life when I'm really sad. I'm angry at the world, but because I have followed Christ, therefore now at least I have a framework and a structure to his kingdom plan, and I understand that. Would you like to understand more about that type of a thing?
Yeah. And then as I was listening this morning, the response to that may just be, no, I don't want to hear anything about that. And, you know, if that's the end of the conversation, then I guess that's the end of the conversation. But... and Stephen doesn't know this yet, so I'm kind of setting him up a little bit here. There's a point where the person may respond and say, well, I don't really have a story like that. In which the conversation then continued, where you get to essentially share the gospel with them. And you had some people may be familiar with this method of sharing the gospel. I know Stephen is familiar with it, whether... he doesn't know what I'm doing yet. So.
I have no idea what you're doing.
He's a little nervous.
I'm along for the ride, man. Let's
He's
go.
along for the ride. So what was that method that you were sharing this? And this is just one method. It's not the only way, but this is a really handy tool for... And again, this is a voice thing, so we don't have like the visuals here. So
right. So like if I ask a person if they have a story like that and they say no, then my next thing I would say would be like, hey, would it be okay if I just took a minute and explained to you why I decided to follow Jesus? And a lot of times they'll say yes. So then I'll draw something out that's called 3 circles. And then I walk them through that. And it's a great visual thing. It can be reproduced anywhere. You can draw it on a napkin. I've drawn it in the dirt with people. It's just super clear. It's a way to present brokenness, the gospel, and the hope of Jesus.
Yeah. What's funny about that, the guy who developed the 3-circle technique, Jimmy Scroggins, down at a family church in West Palm Beach, he was actually, he used to be the youth pastor at Highview Baptist Church in Louisville. And when I was in seminary, I worked under him in his student ministry, and so got to know him through there and whatnot. And then when this whole 3 circles things came out and started blowing up, man, it was like, man, Jimmy, that's awesome. Way to go, man.
It's powerful. It's
very
works
cool.
in a lot of different countries, too.
It really does. It really, and like you were saying, we, you know, it's one of those tools of evangelism to where you can literally draw it in the dirt. I mean, it's so cool. You need. Is there dirt anywhere? That's all I need, just dirt. You know, or you're sitting down at a table, you pick up a napkin at a restaurant and you start drawing on it. You know, it's that easy and that powerful. It really is very cool. So I appreciate the setup there. That was
your
nice.
setup. So I'm going to throw this out here. If somebody is listening to this and you know Jimmy, tell him to get over here to Camp Nathaniel. We want to talk to him.
Tell him I said hi. I haven't talked to him in years, man.
That's okay. We can set it up right now.
Yeah. There you go.
Come on, Jimmy. Yep. If you're listening to this, come find us. So as you're describing the 3-circle drawing there, I know we're audio here, but can we describe it? Can we? You draw the initial circle.
Well, the initial circle is brokenness.
Correct.
Yep. You know, it doesn't take long to convince anyone that the world is broken. You know?
So true.
So you've drawn the first circle. You see that the world is broken. And you were describing this morning that there are ways that you would draw some arrows trying to get out of that.
I like to draw like arrows on bungee cords of how we try to escape brokenness, but you know, whether that's alcoholism or addictions or, you know, making a name for ourselves, they kind of always spring us back into the brokenness because they are inadequate. They don't quite get us out of it.
Yeah.
And so you all drew, there's an arrow that goes down to a second circle. And
well, you got to go back to the first circle first.
So I got to go back to the first circle?
Well, the first circle you draw is brokenness, but then it wasn't always this way. We have to explain the problem that got us into brokenness.
Okay.
And so it starts, it goes back to God's perfect design in the garden.
Okay.
And then the fall of man leads us into brokenness. Sin leads us there.
Okay.
So now you got your down arrow.
And then I've got the down arrow going to a second circle here. And in that second circle,
Scott.
What do we got in the second circle?
So actually, the brokenness is the first circle. Then I would draw the God's ideal with another circle off to the left with a heart in it.
Okay.
Like this is what God really wants. This is His design, His original creation. And then I would draw an arrow going from the heart circle to the broken circle, talking about how we left that through sin.
Okay.
And, by choice. And then I would draw the third circle underneath those two with the arrow going down to it. I draw a cross in the middle with an arrow going down, that Jesus loves us so much that he wanted to restore us to that original circle with the heart in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that through Jesus, who came down to earth, lived perfect life, sacrificed himself for us, was resurrected, and that when I turn and I put my belief in him and my loyalty to him, then he rescues me and he restores me. Another arrow going back to that heart circle.
So that we can pursue God's design. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Very cool.
Perfect. Yep.
If you are curious now and you want to, and you listen to that description and you go, I cannot visualize that, hop on Google and look up the 3-circle evangelism method. And I'm sure that there are 1,000 different renderings of this done in, like you all said, on napkins, in the dirt, on a piece of paper, on a whiteboard, a chalkboard, probably scratched into a table somewhere. I don't know. I'm not suggesting vandalism there, but get the message out there.
No, I got to tell you a story, a quick one about that. I won't take long, but we were doing this evangelism technique down in Cuba, and one of the guys we went into was an addict, and he had tattoos from literally head to foot, and he was a tattoo artist, and we did the 3 circles with him, and he was broken by it, and he said, I'm going to get this tattooed on my body.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, it can be a great tool that God uses for sure.
Yeah, they've got links to it through the North American Mission Board website and stuff along those lines. But you can YouTube it, you can Google it. You just type in 3 circles gospel. I mean, all kinds of stuff comes up. But it's been used very in very powerful ways all over the world, man. Fantastic. Well, Scott, we've got about 3 to 5 minutes left here, Lee.
Yeah.
So how's your experience been at camp so far?
How's trip number 2 here?
This time around,
right.
yeah.
No, so we came from Michigan, so it's there's no hills in Michigan, so it's been really pretty cool to get used to it, and we're set up really well here. I got to tell you, everybody has just been over the top friendly and kind, and just I've had some fantastic conversations. We talk about, the teaching and all that, but we've really made some good connections in relationships, just talking with folks on the sidewalk, and it's just been a real blessing to be here, to be with y'all, for sure.
Very cool, very cool. Now, are you staying in a cabin, or did you get it?
Yep.
Are you okay? Good deal.
Yeah, they put us up in Beach, and
okay. So you're right here in the main circle, man. No, is Beach in the main circle? No. Beach is the new
up on the hill.
Oh,
so
man,
you're
living high on the hog, man.
If you're familiar with camp, or you've been to camp a while for a good long time,
Birch is down here.
Birch is down there. Beach
see?
is what was an old handcraft building.
The old craft building, renovated.
It is way up on the hill, and when I guess through some recent times we've been putting some renovations into it, getting it fixed up. There's a big porch out off the back.
You got that big porch off the back of it, man.
And
nice.
the porch off the back looks out over camp. It's
pretty cool.
It's a very pretty view.
Very nice. Well, hey, Scott, listen, man, thanks so much for jumping in. First of all, thanks for ministering this week here during family camp and sharing all that God has done and is doing, and training our people on being more effective in their own evangelism, man. So thank you.
Thank you. It's been an honor to be here. I really appreciate it.
And thanks for putting up with us here for the past 25 minutes, man.
I feel like I kind of fit in.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
You guys are kind of crazy. So.
Absolutely. Well, Lee, we've got obviously with family camp going on right now. This is going to be this episode is dropping about mid-July? Is that when are we talking here? This is stuff that we should do before we come on the air. So, I believe the last episode might have been July 1st. I'm saying stuff. I'm going to get myself in trouble. That's what I'm going to do.
This might be August. So.
Oh, is this August now? It might be August now.
You can send us comments on there about how we're confused about.
Yeah,
time.
you know what? You guys know when you're listening to this, like it matters. It's a podcast. You can listen to it whenever you want.
Yep.
So,
We've got a lot of ministries that are going to be happening in the fall. So when this does premiere, we've got a lot of ministries that are happening in the fall, a lot of women's retreats and men's retreats and hikes and different things like that planned. Hop over to campnathaniel.org to get a lot of that information, or onto our Facebook. That's going to have a lot of that info being advertised on there as well, about all the different ministries where you and your family can get involved.
yeah. So this will be August 1st.
August
is when this
1st
comes out.
is when this is coming out.
Yeah. So I've just confirmed that with the files on my computer.
There you go.
Well, guys, thanks again for joining us. It's been an awesome time hanging out with Scott right here in the middle of family camp. So, hey, check us back in on August the 15th. And until then, stay... I forgot the word.
You have the word now.
I forgot the word. What was it called?
Something about glitter cereal.
Stay flum diddly.
Fluidly.
Have a great week, guys.
See y'all.